And there's a lot to talk about during the run, but I don't think there's much left to do other than to get ready and say 3, 2, 1, and go. So, first we start with the preload and a lot of things in the beginning, lots of tutorial prompts, unskippable cutscenes, and those kind of things, because every game needs to have it. You're gonna see a lot of these dialogues because it is an anime game, and your anime games are basically always just a lots of story, and because this game does not like to have it, you can't just instantly skip any kind of cutscene, you can only fast forward through them. So you're going to be seeing the skip button in the top right a lot. And we're just going to blatantly ignore all the sexy stuff, because yes, bouncy bouncy, and there's the blue light. And just quick stuff as well. I'm playing with a Stadia controller because the friend of my sister kind of borrowed the Xbox controller that I usually use for this. And in this wonderful first fight in the Gemindesburg graveyard, the only thing we can do is use this wonderful EXE, enjoy this wonderful cutscene, because it's the only time you're going to see it. This is the only time that these are unskippable. Every other time in the game, you're going to be able to skip all animations. So fights are usually relatively quick-paced, but if you do mistakes, then you can get screwed over really, really quickly. And as games, in RPG games, you always have some kind of, you need items to progress, so you need to get drops from enemies and all that kind of stuff. There's a lot of RNG in that regard, and you kind of need to deal with what the game gives you. And with that, we're just already done with the prologue. We're on world record pace, it is amazing, and we're on to chapter 1, Divine Auditorium. We're coming up to the first point where we usually check our time. That is when a certain prompt comes up right here. That was a 2:04 if my timer is to be believed. And that's actually quite good. I usually have like a 2:08, I think. It is. It's a lot. So, for those of you who do not know the Neptunia series, we're going to be playing with the candidates in this game, sisters of the actual main protagonists, and the main character is Nepgear. And in the beginning, we're gonna do some menuing that I have totally memorized and never do wrong at all, because why would I ever do that? Yeah, you need to get that removed, and then you can get that set. And you get that, you get that, you get that, and then we can move on to our first tutorial fight, where it actually tells us how fights are supposed to go. And those kinds of things. And that's why we get more tutorial prompts.
Let's get serious, everyone.
This first fight we're just gonna skip by using IS Demonic Inferno, which is an AoE ability, and so anything that has any kind of multiple people, it kind of does that. But the next one, we're gonna use actual combos, which we set up before, so that we can defeat this guy, and then an ability to finish him off. And that gave us the first of the items that we need. It's a forced, because it's a forced drop. That is the first Grand Jelly that we need to later unlock a dungeon. We're gonna do some tutorial quests and go back to the dungeon that we just came from, and then we do this. And yes, as you can hear, we are playing with the English voices. You're totally correct. It is actually a little bit faster to go for English voices. Not only do you save time on setup because it's default, but a lot of death cries that you can hear from the enemies go a lot faster when you're in English. They are generally randomized, so it can go one way or another, even when you're using Japanese voices. But with English voices, it's overall a little bit quicker. I just picked up 2 herbs. I'm gonna press my button here twice, because we're gonna need 12 herbs towards the end of the game to skip a couple fights and just use quests that we hand in. And if we hit this enemy, we're gonna want to get another Grand Jelly from this guy, which we did get. Wonderful, perfect RNG so far. And then we want 2 Horsebird Wings. This guy can drop 1, and with a little bit of luck, we're going to get it first try. we did not get a single horsebird wing. We also did not get the backup item of redisher leaves. Also, one more group. We have 3. Remember that, chat. So we're going to wait for just a little bit to get this guy to respawn. And if we either get 2 redisher leaves or 2 horsebird wings, then we can continue on. If we only get the redisher leaves, we'll have to come back later. But with the plan menu that we're going to show off a little bit later, we can change this dungeon to actually have the horsebird wings as a pickup one, which is guaranteed instead of relying on the chance of it coming here. We got 2 redisher leaves, so we're going to leave and come back later. It's a little bit of a time loss, but it's the marathon save strategy. Right, as I'm leaving, I'm going to go to the side here to also pick up another set of rocks, because we need that later on to implement some other plan. I don't quite remember which one. It's important, we need it, so that we can get items later, so we don't spend like a billion times always leaving dungeons and re-entering them. Instead, we can just eject out. Alright. Now we fight this doggo as well to finish off the quest. And then we can continue on with the story.
Chance, leave it to me.
And I guess I can talk a little bit about the story. Where we were in the beginning in the graveyard, our sisters have been banished and have been gone for multiple years. And we tried to get them back, but we're just a weak little CPU candidate. And so we're gonna want to recruit other people in the different nations so that they can help us defeat the big bad evil guy, also known as R4. That's the very basic gist, and in the end,
It's time to depart.
we will succeed, but we may be going on a certain route that may or may not end with us killing everyone instead, because
Leave it to me.
who needs friendship anyway? Nepgear is going to totally not die here,
Where's the patience?
and that is totally not planned at all, because that is how this fight usually goes.
Yeah.
If you're getting really bad luck, or if you're underleveled,
Okay,
that fight can go really poorly. But it's the fight that the game uses to introduce you to the viral mechanic. Occasionally, enemies may go viral and thus be really hard to defeat. Right here, I'm looking for spider webs. We got 1, but we're gonna need a second one, so we leave
Time to
and come
depart.
back and just do it until we have 2.
Good. Let's get this over with quick.
And there we go, already 2 spider webs. That's fast. With that, after a couple more fights, we can implement the weaken enemies plan.
This.
So because we kind of want to go fast, we want enemies to be 3 herbs. We want enemies to be weaker so that they are faster to defeat. Right here we're going for, first of all, another cutscene where we unlock the HDD mechanic. So we can transform into anime girl magic. We're more powerful now by the power of love and friendship. But this also is the first mini-boss fight, so to speak. And if everything goes alright, then we should survive it very easily. Maybe get poisoned, but there's a little bit of variance in how much stuff can happen during the fight.
I won't lose.
We're forced into
No matter
HDD.
how strong they are. Who wants to die?
Alright, go behind her, defensive cheer, so we don't take as much damage.
Is it my turn?
Always
already?
go behind her because you deal more damage from the back.
You better be. It's my turn.
And if everything goes right,
Up. I need to
we
be
kill
as
her
good as
before she
I
kills us.
get. I can't lose.
Alright. Then we find the first discs that spawn enemies, because of course such things exist. And we're already done with chapter 1. If only every chapter was this long, chapter 2 just does the exact opposite, and like 50% of the game, of the run, is gonna be chapter 2. Because we're going to all the nations and collecting all the girls so that we can fight together. I actually need to go quickly here and talk to this cat. Because we need the Ventura Forest change, exactly that. An interesting way to spell Umio. Ooh, Spence! Where'd you get that emote? Then we go back here, talk to this guy real quick. Because now we have all the things to weaken enemies, and I can change Ventura Forest so that we can later go back to Ventura Forest and get the Horsebird wings that we're still missing. Ba-da-bum-bum-ba-dum-bum. Also get used to these sounds because this game is Asset Reuse City and a lot of stuff is repeated.
Leave it to me.
We're fighting this enemy because we need 2 cardboards.
That was
We did not get a single one, but we can come back later. Those cardboards are needed for another one of the plans. Attempt to unlock one of the dungeons, if I remember correctly. And so we kind of needed to progress. Here we walk to Linda again. Because Linda is the underling. Some might not know that she's called Linda, because she's always just referred to underling and that makes her mad. But we just go this and do the same strategy we did last fight. Defensive cheer and attack. You could skip the defensive cheer if you're really struggling for a time save, but we're going safe. That's a marathon. And it doesn't waste that much time. And because Uni is an absolute tsundere, after joining us, she's leaving us again. And we have some other stuff to do. Alright. Menu stuff 1 is what I call this wonderful split. Because we get to use the shop for the first time, we're gonna sell some stuff, we're gonna buy some stuff, equip some stuff. And because we didn't get that wonderful Horsebird wing, we're going back to Ventura Forest and pick up a couple of Horsebird wings.
Okay.
First we go into this to proceed with the story. Pick up some more items that we can sell. Because the money route of this whole game is actually quite tight. At certain points, if I accidentally buy a couple more weapons than I should, then all of our money is gone and then it's time to improvise hard. But if things go well, we don't do that. Alright, as mentioned, we're gonna go back to Ventura Forest. Because we kind of need that additional Horsebird wing. Ah, Ventura Forest. Always wonderful. Peaceful music. This is where the world is still somewhat alright. And we don't get more herbs over here. We're at 6 herbs at the moment. I'm gonna have to pick up 6 more throughout the run. I'm going to save here because drops from gather points are random. And we kind of need 2 Horsebird wings over here. Can either drop 1 or 2. And we get 2. Wonderful. Then we can eject out and move on. We can go over here and sell some things. We're going to sell the agility boosters and the PSP chargers. Buy expired liquid, venom claw, and 3 steel bracelets, and we equip those. Steel bracelet, expired liquid, venom claw, steel bracelet, and we split and move on to the Ventura Forest depths.
Time to depart.
And then we need another set of spiderwebs.
I found you.
Because
Leave it to me.
more plans require them. We need a 3rd one. We did not get one, so we eject out. Going to safety save
Let's
here.
do our best.
Because if we don't get it, then it's a little bit faster to just reload instead of ejecting out.
Let's get this over with quick.
And because our EXP routing is also actually relatively tight, it's better to reload instead of actually get the level ups from it. But we got our 3rd spiderweb and 3 more herbs, so we're almost set for herbs. And we fight the ancient dragon.
It's my turn. I need to
This
call
guy
some
deals
I'll be
comparatively much
I
damage,
can't wait.
so we actually
You're
use
fine.
healing
It's my
abilities
turn. If you're hurt,
and healing items to keep our party all the way
good as my
topped up.
sis- If you're hurt, hurt.
You can heal yourself.
Leave it to me.
And
It's
we
my
move
turn.
on to you. Use ability. You
patient?
heal. You
So,
fight.
I need
You
to be
fight.
Where's the
You
patient?
fight.
It's my turn.
And fight.
Is it my turn already?
And
If you're
fight.
hurt,
No one's hurt, so you
leave
fight.
it to me.
You can
It's my
fight.
turn.
You
Where's
can
the
fight.
patient?
No one's hurt, so you fight.
I need to be
You can
so,
fight. You can fight.
if you're
You need
hurt,
to
keep
heal.
Is it my turn
And
already?
you can fight.
It's my
And
turn.
you can fight.
Where's the patient?
And you can fight. And last but not least, she gets the last hit.
Rep.
Alright. Next we have another character join our party. Red. Annoying little girl that got replaced from the original Mark II that this game is the remake
Do
of.
our best.
Because licensing and stuff. It is
Leave it to me.
not good. We're going to use an intelligence booster on IF because she can then use her AoE ability to finish this fight relatively quickly. But we need to wait for her to turn, to actually get a turn.
Can't wait.
And you do nothing and you kill them. And that way they are done. Alright. Lots of menuing in the beginning. It's going to calm down a little bit very soon. With this event and last station, we'll get another bit of equipment. Or actually, I think we got it from that fight, which gives us a bit more HP. And then we go into Rebirth
Do our
Resort.
best.
Or another set of cardboards, please. At this
Good.
point, we actually
Let's
do
get this
want
over
it
with quick.
to drop.
My turn.
We did not get a single one, so we checked out and try again.
Okay, let's go.
Technically, we can come back one after the
Let your
next boss
guard
fight as
down,
well,
huh?
but might as well do it right now because the level difference doesn't change anything. We've got one cardboard, and now we just need one more.
Okay, let's go.
And because the game hates us, we're most likely going to get 2 cardboards in one of these fights,
A chance? It's
so
my
that we
turn.
actually end up with 3, which is completely useless to us.
I'm
Oh, that did not happen. So we actually just got 2 cardboard and can move on to the next boss fight. Because one might also say that this speedrun is a little bit of a boss fight gauntlet after this point. Because it's just story required bosses and
Please be nice.
the boss music plays.
It's my
So
turn.
that's 90% of what you
Should
do.
I need to
Neptunia is going to go HDD in most fights from here on out because it just deals more damage and she's a little bit better defensively. Means
my
that she
turn.
survives a bit longer.
I can't wait.
Other than that, it's spamming skills,
So,
unless Neptuna's skill sealed, which she currently was just a second ago,
Red turn. Leave it to me. Is it
which
my
means
turn?
that we can't use skills. Who would have thought?
It's my
Skill
turn.
sealed means you can't use skills.
I'm
If we're skill sealed, we just do combo attacks to our best of our abilities. And then we can move on. So yeah, because of RNG, that lost us about 30 seconds of having to go back in and try again. Alright. Now we're entering Septon Resort. Totally not the same dungeon that we've been in just now. We're gonna pick up some stuff and equip it to you and you. And then we go into party menu, battle formation, and set it up a little bit more favorably. Because during fights, it always takes a little bit of time to actually go behind the enemies, so if we start a bit closer to them, it's easier to hit them. And for safety's sake, we're gonna say... Hey Andrew, how are you doing? The quad skill seal on Underling. No, I do not want that. I really do not want that to happen.
look so weak.
Once we move to the next city,
It's my turn.
there's gonna be a little bit of
It's my
a
turn.
lot of fights that are hard,
To calm
especially one
myself.
specific
I'm
one.
ready. I'll be serious now.
And it's basically one of the first points in the game where you
It's my turn.
really can be forced to reset if you're not careful enough,
If you're hurt,
unless you save.
it's my turn.
You can always go save by safety saving.
Where's the patient?
Also, skill seal. That's another one of the effects enemies can put on you, and that means that you basically can do nothing. Paralysis. That's what I meant to say. Yes, technically you can suicide on that fight, but that requires more menuing. But because this is like it's a scripted fight, even if you lose, the game just ignores that happened. Here we use a strength booster to deal more damage, and you only fight with Neptunia in this fight anyway. And I just screwed up a little bit. I'm going to go save and actually heal. Yep, she would have gotten another turn and killed us, so that was the right decision. But yeah, because you only need that in that fight, it's just fine. Alright, and then we move on by unlocking Darkness 60.
Okay, let's go.
Which is where we grab the eject button plan so that we can actually later on buy eject buttons. And it conveniently gives you another eject button, so you can just leave again immediately. And in case it wasn't obvious, eject buttons are meant to eject you out of the dungeon so that you can just leave.
Okay, let's go.
And don't have to walk out. It would be cool if that was just the default menu option to leave the dungeon, but nah, game has to be stingy, needs to make it an item. Needs to make story sense. Because these games totally always make sure that they are in-universe consistent and that their things work. Totally, always, things always need to make sense and are never out of order or anything. That would never happen. So, throughout the run, we're gonna hope that we don't get to see any glitches of any sort. But this game is, even though it is poorly optimized, to say the least, there are a couple glitches. They are just not useful at all for the speedrun. Because sequence breaks, they are protected against. If you don't have an event, then you cannot trigger this next story part, and thus you absolutely cannot continue. Alright, we defeated the Fenrir. Now we just move on to kill Marenthyu, that filthy rat. And you need to fight him, and he's dead. Marenthyu is just a filthy little rat. He's a companion of underling Linda. And he has madly fallen in love with Kampa, and our lovely nurse. And then we go back to our station to continue on with the story. And there's more story, and more story. But one important thing that comes up right after we triggered this event in Lowy, we need to remember to talk to a couple people that are technically not required. But since we are aiming for the Conquest event, or the Conquest fights at the end, and we want to get the Conquest ending, we need to learn about what Conquest actually means. And basically there's a wonderful, wonderful sword that's only been heard of in legends that is able to defeat the big bad guy. Big bad evil guy. So we kind of are going to go for that sword, bathed in the blood of your friends. And then we purchase just a Beam Saber Mark II and a toy set. And then we go up here.
Time to depart.
Collect this chest. And then we have another chance at herbs. And we got one. Nice. That's 10 herbs out of 12 that we need. And we go over here and grab this chest as well.
What's this?
Tries another SP charger and eject button. Eject buttons are just incredibly useful, especially later on. Some more equipment. And then we do commands. Red, you're going to get that removed. You get that removed, remove. Mighty hit, mighty hit, and mighty hit. You already have that set. Remove. Because that just wastes time. And then we go for equipment. You get your Beam Saber Mark II. And you get the Youth Bandage, which is over here. And not the Cord Armlet. You are going to get the Stamina Bangle. You already have that weapon. And you get a Cord Armlet, and Red just gets her weapon. And then we can move on. Alright, these are hard fights. Or first we're fighting Linda. Linda is not that hard. But the fight against the twins is absolute bullcrap. And if they want, they're gonna kill you.
Leave it to me and everything will be okay.
Linda can also be really, really painful. But you can just surround her, spam skills, and usually you're fine. But if she decides she can skill seal or paralyze anyone. I could be attacking with Compa here as well. But except for the last few rounds, it doesn't make much sense. Because she doesn't deal that much damage, and it's better for her to be defending and just be the meat shield for the party. Because most of the time she's gonna attack the person with the most HP, which Compa is at the moment. At least she should be. Alright, be careful in this fight. We want a strength boost so that we can be more effective with everything. And then we need to hit both of them in every single turn and deal as much damage as we can. And we're gonna use Compa to always heal us up as much as we can. And then Rep can go behind them and do this. And we can always hit them both. They get a lot of turns, and then we can try to heal all of them together. Wonderful. IF is paralyzed, which is technically really bad, because if we deal less damage, and less damage is always bad. Well, we're just gonna try to deal as much damage as we can anyway, and the strength booster now wore off, and we are gonna heal again. And since she's not gonna deal much damage as well, might as well go Demonic Inferno. That actually deals no damage, I forgot that, because they are winter themed, and so they are immune to fire. And you can do that, you can do that, and then we can kill. Wonderful. That fight could have gone a lot worse, but a lot better as well. We didn't die, and so that is all that we really care about. Alright then. Now we got a lot of cutscenes. Again, because of course we do. It's not yet the big cutscene block, but still. Upcoming, we're gonna want to get another set of items for quests that are required for the story. And because the drop rates are incredibly horrendous, aka 50%, we're going to be safe scumming for one set of those drops, so that we can make sure that we don't need to get it later and get as many chances as possible, instead of having to kill enemies for it or use anything that like is a lot worse than 50%. You've always been curious on Neptunia runs? Well, if you're really curious, I actually ran this category in the really longathon of lots of lore as well, so if you actually care for all the story parts that we're skipping here, unless you're really fast with reading, feel free to check that out as well. There ought to be a VOD somewhere. And it just shows off basically the same speech strats for outside of cutscenes, but as you can see, we're skipping a lot of cutscenes. And so, the story is always what drives these games in a casual setting. And I'm obviously not the only person that runs these games, and I can recommend checking out the Neptunia series on speedrun.com. We don't have too many runners, but new people are always welcome. And I don't think I will ever say no to someone wanting to race this game in category with me.
What's this?
You're impressed by the speed of menuing? You're gonna want to watch the world record run of this, or just VGM in general. Okay, we did not get the drop that we wanted. Because his menuing is insane. I am incredibly slow compared to the other people in the community. Like, seriously. Everyone else is better than me. There, we got the plummet piece that we wanted. So we can move on. That's the second try. That can go on a lot longer, because it's a 50% chance, and I think the highest we had was like 23 tries of someone actually getting that. You get a suspicious bangle, you get a court armor, and you get a court. Ahem, I said you get a court armor. Thank you. And then we safety save because we're in a marathon. And yeah, Worldy also does runs of the games of this series. So yeah, with cutscenes, this run is about 10 hours. We don't go HDD, we just hit as many of them as possible. Because we kind of need to spare our SP for the following fights.
So, who wants? I can't wait.
You can hit both.
I can go anytime. It's my turn.
I didn't quite go. Okay.
Rebel.
And that just saved me 47 seconds over my PB because my PB got really bad RNG with the plummet piece. Alright, now Red leveled up in between these fights, and now we have access to ancient stuff, which is a strength booster but in skill form, so we don't need to waste any skills anymore. Of those wonderful things. Items, because items are hard to come by.
I can't wait. It's my turn. Red's turn. Leave it to me. I can't wait. It's my turn. Leave it to.
And I mispressed there. I really hate this controller.
If you're hurt, it's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn.
There we go. And he's dead. Wonderful. Nah, it's not PB pace. I'm currently 3 minutes behind my PB. Because RNG in the beginning was horrible. Usually I would have reset for that, but it's not a PB attempt, so we're just moving on. So, we get a lot of events here. Remember to stay hydrated. Grab your Twitch-branded water bottle that you hopefully also all have on hand. And drink water. And that was already a cutscene.
Let's do our best.
But then we move on. And grab a couple items. And that's another herb. Wonderful. We have 11 herbs, and there's one more place where we are guaranteed to get at least one herb. So we're set for herbs for life. We're on Twitch. It's not product placement if it's Twitch itself. Kappa.
I have to keep my guard up.
Alright, we do the same thing here.
Leave it to me.
We just use ancient stuff to strength boost.
I'll be serious.
Go HDD. And kill this guy as quickly as possible.
It's my turn. If you're hurt, it's my turn. It's my turn. Leave it to me.
Oh, wonderful. Paralyzed, and so that means that we're going to spend a little bit longer on it. There we go. And this is one of the few fights where you actually don't get automatically ejected out. We need to go to this side.
I found you. Who should I play?
And we actually need to fight these enemies to get another item change. And we need 2, I repeat 2 round antennas. We only got 1. So we're going to safety save and force another drop.
Let's go.
And we cannot fight too many of these guys because our EXP route for a later fight is really, really tight. And these guys give a lot of XP. There's the second round antenna, and that should mean that we're completely fine. That item you don't need to pick up, but it's on the way, so might as well. Alright, ancient stuff you can unparalyze and seal on Neptunia. Thank you. Because it kind of wants damage.
Where's the patient? Is it my turn already?
It's really a tricky decision if you want to use an anti-seal or something like that for a fight or not. Because, yes, you save time because you can actually use the character again, but using an item just takes times. No, enemy levels do not scale with you. But the later the dungeon in the game, the more they have. And yeah, the exactly what Worldy said. Later we have a fight that we basically do twice in a row, and we don't get an automatic heal in between those two. You usually heal... right. Ahem, concentrate on the game. We want to buy twice set and IF weapon. And then we go into information hot button work. I'm totally playing this without notes, because I'm that good. I'm not. Coupling, Contra goes there, and Broccoli goes there. And then we do commands, you get max power, and you remove, max power, And then we do equipment, and we don't change anything, because we're doing it a little bit differently than my notes say. We want Warp Labyrinth to have an item change, and then we can go on here. So yeah, we're gonna have some fights that we want to heal in between, and the only way to heal is either by leaving the dungeon or by leveling up. And so we kind of can't choose. Alright. For this fight, we're going to use one of the intelligence boosters again that we have, because I have just dealt a shit ton more damage with it. And she's, her Demonic Inferno skill is not affected by the strength boost that we get from Red's ability.
I'll do my best, you.
Broccoli uses an int booster on IF. Thank you. You use ancient stuff, and you go behind and use your skill.
Sorry. I'll be serious
And
now.
you then also use your skill.
Leave it to me. It's my turn. Red's turn.
And that,
It's my turn.
and do
Needs
a
to
couple
be
more
Red's
skills.
turn. So, is it my turn? Red? Leave it to me.
And she's out of
Is
SP.
it my turn?
She just moves on. Alright. Okay. So... Alright. We're gonna pick up this gather point. And we got only one stellar frame, which is kind of a little bit stupid, but oh well. Then we're gonna use a hero drink to give SP back to our characters, as well as PSP chargers, so that we're full back up. Because we're gonna need all the resources that we can get for this next fight. But we're going to have to come back for that gather point later again. Because we need 2 stellar frames, but we only got 1. So we're gonna be a little bit longer on the grind for some quests.
Is it broccoli?
Alright, we do the same thing here though. We give an int booster on IF over there. You're gonna do a strength boost. You are gonna do the Demonic Inferno.
Processor unit set.
And you just spam
Leave
skills.
it to me. I need to be. Who should I? Is it?
And because of enemy
It's my
AI,
turn. I can go
they
any. It's my turn.
usually don't kill you.
Leave
It
to
can
me.
still happen, but they usually you defeat them before they
Leave it to
kill
me.
anyone.
I can go any.
Also, that's another status effect that Neptunia
Leave
got.
it to me.
That is virus, and virus means that HDD does not work, and that means we are a lot weaker here,
I need to calm myself.
and that is
Leave
kind
it
of
to me.
really bad.
Who should I play with?
Alright, we're getting into a little bit of a struggle here. You're gonna do Mikara Beam on yourself to heal so you don't actually die. You're going to use a healing grass on yourself, you're gonna use a healing grass on yourself,
So,
and then we can continue our
I
attack.
can't.
Safety's sake,
I'll do my best.
for the marathon, don't want to die,
It's my turn.
because of course we got to safety safe.
Leave it to
And
me.
that is what happens when you don't get good RNG.
Level up.
Yes, you absolutely can get quad virused, but effectively it doesn't do anything on characters that can't go HDD. So currently it only affects Nepgear, and that means that she swaps out of HDD. It loses time, not only because you get weaker, but also it takes time for the virus animation to play out. Alright, we go back to Louis for more quests. Story cutscenes. So we drink more water. Do not make a drinking game where you drink for every single cutscene. You're not gonna live long. And yes, skill sealed or paralysis is a lot worse than virus. Yeah, we don't want it to happen. We really don't. You're just asking for it. Alright, guild, we're going to accept no more summer breaks. Plummet Beast and whatever that one is.
Okay, let's go.
For that we go back into this dungeon. And fight a couple enemies on the way. We're gonna need that second stellar frame from the gather point, but we also need to defeat the set of these.
Is it broccoli?
We only get 2 of them. If we get 2 of them twice, then we are gonna need to just run away and fight the fight again, because we need to get 5 of those. As long as we get 3 in the next batch, then we're fine. We got the stellar frames. Now we can disable the plan for the dungeon, so that we can get the original items again. Because we still need a second plummet piece. And we're gonna do the same thing that we did for the first plummet piece, which is safety save at this safety save point. And we're gonna ignore all the enemies because it's losing the most time to have to reload for the plummet piece. There we go, that's good. That's first try second plummet piece, so we might actually be able to save time over my PB here. Barely.
Success.
Alright, this is good. This is a lot of enemies, and we should be able to defeat them relatively quickly. Now we just need to not get completely screwed over by these guys, and we need to get
I can't believe you fell for this.
3 of them. We need to get 3 of them.
Red's turn.
And so we just only ever defeat 1
Leave it to me.
and fail to escape. You can escape, wonderful, and then get 3 in the next attempt.
Anything notice us?
There we go, that's a lot better.
Who wants to get
And
beaten
you
first?
can defeat them all.
Go anytime.
You can defeat them all if you don't get damage ranged on all 3 of them. Life fragment, wonderful.
My turn. Bye-bye.
Ah, marathon luck, isn't it amazing?
I can go anytime.
There we go. And grab this for safety. Now we can eject out, and then we go into last station and all these. Only locked 9 seconds over. Alright, we're gonna get a lot of cutscenes here. So, stretch break. If you're really fast, you can use some of these cutscenes as toilet breaks as well, but I think I've managed it before, but it's sometimes really bad because you still need to re-engage the skip button. It's really bad. You see the nation logo appearing in cutscenes places it shouldn't. Save and restart the game immediately. Oh, it happened to you again last night. You're just too fast, VGM. You're just too fast. By the way, VGM in chat right now, he's the current world record holder.
What's this?
With a, did you get a 138 or was it only a 139? I don't remember. Go give VGM a follow. He's better in menuing and everything. Alright. We got 1 more herb, which is perfect. Now we have 12, and we don't need to pick up any more. You really got... Yeah, right, you got a 137 because you... Just for context, my personal best is a 144. So this guy is a mad lad. He's better. And RNG is stupid. But if you do good menuing, you can compensate for it. Please wait, cutscenes are loading. Oh yeah, pay to win. This game is also, or in general, all the Idea Factory compile hard games. They are really bad ports. And so the games run like crap. Even on the native consoles, to be honest. And as we've seen before, just changing from, for example, an AMD graphics card to an NVIDIA graphics card, the game just likes it a lot more. And then if you just get a better CPU, you're gonna feel it in this game. My current PB, I think before I had a 147, so it was basically 3 minutes of time saved just from getting better hardware. And it's not even that the game runs at a higher frame rate, it just loads stuff faster. Like, every time you see a character load in these cutscenes, it has to reload it. And that takes resources. And even if it's like 1 millisecond every single time that a character loads, you can easily, like, also that loading screen is one of the longest. And even if you just say 1 millisecond every time a character loads, you see how often characters load. So over the course of this 2-hour run, you save like 3 minutes. We do technically have a load less timer in the auto splitter for this game, but it's not really perfect because it sometimes still runs, or pauses rather, when you're in a dungeon because it's loading the enemies. It's technically still loading, yes, but since you can already move around, you're already doing inputs and you're doing things, and so you can save time. But we might get something at some point later. Also, this music is amazing. More cutscenes, by the way. Alright, sword, IF weapon, toy set, 4-studded bracelets. Buy sword, IF weapon, toy set, and 4-studded bracelets. And then we do information, voucher. And that's a split. And then we move on to Underverse again, where we just came from, so we can listen to more of this amazing music. Then we do some menuing, and I'm going to do a freaking safety save before these two fights, because these are the two fights that we mentioned earlier, where we're definitely gonna want to level up in between. If we don't, we can still make it, but you need to be aware that you need to save SP mana before moving on to the next fight. Clearly the solution is to have everyone play on the same machine. Yes. Alright, equipment. You get your light sword, you get studded... You get a studded bracelet, wonderful. Then you get H, B, W, and L equipped, you get a studded bracelet, you get your weapon and a studded bracelet, and Gear also gets a Ring of Essence. I do not want to forget that. Han. There we go. IF also gets a Stamina Bango, and Rat just gets her weapon and the studded bracelet. And just to be safe, we're gonna go over here and slash H, slash H, slash H. Alright, let's do this. Linux virtual machine. You do not want to run these games on Linux. Because you would have to use Wine or Proton for it to actually work well. You are going to just... Yeah, we should be fine if we move over here. The AI of these two characters is really stupid. Like, it really goes poorly if you don't do it well. And I was about to not do it well because we want to do ancient stuff to actually be able to do damage to these guys. And we want to hit both of them, so that we can actually deal damage. Wonderful. You can deal damage to both of them as well if you target correctly. You have the largest hitbox with your weapon. And IF is almost dead, so you're going to use Makara Beam on her, and then you should be able to hit both of them. Wonderful. You're going to Makara Beam on her again, so she doesn't die. We do not want our characters to die, because that wastes time, obviously. Imagine, death wastes time. And you can hit both of them as well, please. Can you? Yes, you can. Wonderful. And even though I am going a little bit slow, it's definitely a lot safer to do this way. And now you can... and now I can use skills because I can hit both. Hit only one of them with skill, or with most of my skills. Alright. Took it super slow. Lost 50 seconds over PB, but my PB before my current PB had 50 seconds time loss in this fight as well. I think even like 1 minute 20. And that still was a PB. Because this is just... Yeah, no. And then we go through the same fight again. Just that they have a bunch more HP. Okay, they are standing over there, so I'm gonna want to try and keep them over there, so that we can keep them close together. And you can use ancient stuff, hit them all, wonderful. And then we can hit them both and deal damage. Deal damage, win game.
It's my turn. I can't. For the you better be. So.
Broccoli, don't die, please.
It's my turn.
Thank you.
I can't.
You can heal yourself.
Red's turn. I'm gonna. So.
Deal more damage.
That was easy, too.
That's an insta-kill, so you can also do that, by the way. Because why not? Life Fragment.
It's my turn.
That,
So, who
you,
wants to get-
Neville...
Oh,
She, I did not hit the other
my
person.
turn already?
Right.
It's my turn.
Please, hit both of them, so that person
So,
dies.
Who wants? All
You
right.
can do that, you can do that,
It's my
you can
turn.
go behind her, but you don't have skills because you're skill sealed.
So, who wants to get-
And skill.
Oh,
And red is dead, that is bad, we kind of need her alive.
I can't wait. I need to calm
And you are virus and skill sealed. Amazing.
myself. I can't.
So yeah, this fight is really, really stupid because they have a lot of different status ailments they can give you, and they are powerful, they have a lot of HP, it's just... So yeah. Whose turn is it? Yes, it's my turn. That's also one of the joys of English language. Red is very annoying. You might see that as an advantage or a downside. She's annoying in Japanese as well, but I think in Japanese she's a lot more bearable. So yeah, stay hydrated. And yes, we did effectively upgrade to the same machine. I think VGM has a different graphics card though. So for reference, I'm running this game currently on an Ryzen 5, Ryzen 9 5950X. The best one money could buy at that point in time. And the GPU is just a NVIDIA 1070, and that's completely fine. And yeah, VGM has a 1060, so... While having an NVIDIA graphics card matters, you don't need a 3090 Ti to be able to be competitive. In comparison, the upgrade from my AMD RX 480 to the 1070 was definitely worth it a lot more. So, we're meeting some new characters, and we're going to pick up Cave as well. Not the person we just saw, that is Falcon. But we want to talk to Cave, so that she joins the party. And here's to hoping that I don't completely fuck up my menuing. Because,
Let's do our best.
at this point in the game, we will be relying on different party members being behind other party members, which give different kinds of bonuses.
What's this?
Hey, Raph. So yeah, Raph's back also recently joined. Recently. It's also been a couple months at this point, it still feels recent.
What's this?
Okay, so we grabbed those. We are going to equipment. You're going to get a cross bracelet so that you do a lot better. Then we go for party, battle formation, not battle formation, coupling. IFX compa. And Cave behind. Yeah, behind compa, 5BB behind broccoli. Then we swap you and then we do that. Now we should be compa X broccoli. That should be good. Safety save. Menuing is hard. And I don't want to do mistakes in marathon runs.
Leave it to me and everything will be A-okay! I'll finish you. It's my turn!
Alright, ancient
Okay,
stuff.
no, I'm sorry. I'll be serious now.
And Gear just needs to be the closest person to it.
I'll finish you this.
And
I'll
then
have
she
you.
can
It's my turn.
be bait so
It's my
that
turn.
the enemy turns around
What song
and we can
is
deal more
this?
damage from the back.
Finally.
And we
It's my
just
turn.
spam
It's my
skills.
turn. What
Spam
song?
skills.
I'll finish you. I need to be as good as. It's my turn.
Yeah,
It's my
yeah,
turn. Finally.
yeah,
I need to be.
Yeah,
It's my turn.
you need to attack,
It's my turn.
attack,
It's my turn.
attack, and he's dead. There we go. Even with taking the menuing slow, I only lost 15 seconds over PB. We take this. And yeah, the server CPU sadly wouldn't do much better, because it's more single-core performance than multi-threaded. I mean, I do have a thread ripper at work that I could try it out on to prove that thesis, but try getting this game into a work environment. You're not gonna be successful, at least if you want to keep your job. And yeah, don't play this game on the Vita where it originally released. So this is a Vita port. The game is originally on Vita, and this is the port to Steam. $148, who was that? Was that the bomb stew? Also, I need to actually go into a store right now. Because we need to buy a guitar and a blade. And then we buy 2 cross armlets. 2 cross armlets, wonderful. And then we equip blade, guitar, cross armlet, flat toy set, cross armlet, and the Ring of Essence. Wonderful.
Let's do our best.
So yeah, I'm taking these menus way slower than I would in a PvE attempt. Veloed it. Vita runs. Also, we got a 13th verb. Velo Lopez.
I wonder if I can win. Sexy.
Also, this fight can go really bad.
I'll have you listen to my song.
Yep. HDD.
Sorry. I'll be serious now. I need to be finally. Okay. I'll have you. Red. Is it my turn? It's my turn.
And
For the who should I? What song? Is it my
missed.
turn? I'll finish.
So we should be fine to
Who should
continue.
I have no regrets about my life.
There's still a lot more time to be saved on this split. Yes, I did that slowly. I saved time over PB because this fight can go so poorly. Alright, now we get Rom kidnapped. So yeah, the 2 lowlies that you've seen before with the twins that we fought, they are Rom and Ram. No, not Ram and Ram, but Rom and Ram. They are still red Oni, blue Oni. They kind of represent the Nintendo DS with the 2 screens. And yeah. And yeah, AI targeting like works differently in every single fight, basically. But it's usually predictable to a certain degree. The last few fights, you're gonna see that it's absolutely not predictable at all, and because the fights are gonna go really poorly. Because it's a marathon.
Let's do our best.
Alright, we pick up the first thing. Is it the first thing here? Nope, now I have a hitting patch. Wait, no, yes, I do want that. I want the hitting patch, because now I want to equip the hardest bangle and the hitting patch on Cave, and get Gear Cave and 5 PPs of Rush's set. Alright, equipment. You get the hardest bangle and the hitting patch, and then we do commands and gear. Remove, rapid hit, remove, and rapid rush, remove, rapid rush. Wonderful slow menuing. Reminder to one-shot Uni. No thank you. Alright, in this fight we absolutely do not want to lose red. And we're gonna abuse, for the first time, Cave's EXE, which is an AoE massive damage spell.
Please,
And based on physical damage, so strength boosters work. Which is, kind of abusable. And I still want to be standing somewhat close to red. There we go. So that red can give ancient stuff to all of them. And then we need to hit everyone. I can't hit both of them. This is gonna be losing us some time. Alright. You go HDD. And I can hit both of them. Wonderful.
I'll finish you this
And yeah.
It's my turn.
Wonderful.
It's my turn.
And now I want to hit both of them again. so that I can get more EXE credit. And you're going to defend.
I'll finish you this
Alright,
turn.
and then I can
So
EXE.
should I play with-
And
I
that's
can
gonna kill.
still fight.
Just taking it slow and steady, so that we can make sure. Also, if you don't like lowlies being licked, look away. Because this guy is an absolute pervert and does that to these two poor little girls. But for that, we're gonna punish him.
I wonder if I can win. This is a little scary. Finally, my turn.
Alright, you can do that. You do ancient stuff, you HDD.
Okay, I'll be serious now.
And then we can.
It's my turn. What song do you? It's my turn. Red's turn. It's my turn.
And he's dead. He dead.
Level.
And yeah, hit counts reset every time your entire party had a turn, I think. So every round, so to speak. And hit count basically gives you a combo meter, so to speak. Oh, nose, please. Don't do this to me. Alright, the twins have now joined us. And let me move over back to last station, where we're gonna accept the first time to avenge some cousins. Guild, accept, avenge my cousin, and seeking big business. And that is gonna be it for now, because otherwise I could do some other strats, but that's like tiny optimizations. I'm just not entirely sure at the moment, because rusty. I've totally run this game a lot in the recent past.
Okay, let's go.
Alright, cave gear harders, equipment, cave. I said equipment. Cave. I get something else, and you get a hardest bangle, and you also get a hitting patch. Wonderful. I'm gonna pick up some concrete. Because concrete is OP. It isn't, it's just a meme pickup.
Wonder if I can win. It's my turn.
Here I'm gonna start mashing like this for the first time with this controller. And this controller is horrible. It doesn't land it well to mashing in the way that I do. Because we're gonna get a lot more of those fights. And what I basically want to do is mash Y and A at the same time, so that I can access the skill menu and immediately execute the skill. And it's just, it's a pain on the fingers, and so I put it on top. And blah, 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 blah. Nep nep indeed.
Okay, let's go.
Hello, Thanamir. And we fight this guy along the way
I'll
and do
protect
the same thing.
CPU. Finally, my turn. It's nice.
This skill spam. And then we get into another boss fight, where we are forced to fight together with Uni again, because Uni suddenly overcomes her inner tsundere
He looks strong, but I'll
and
try
actually
my
do
best.
stuff.
Show me your will.
Leave it
We're gonna go
time.
HDD.
Serious.
Use the Strength Booster Z, which boosts both
I'm
attack
sorry.
and
I'll be
defense,
serious now.
and then we can mash
I
skills.
believe it.
You're within my. It's my turn.
Show me your.
I'm gonna try to move them apart a little bit,
I believe it.
so that she can't do his big area attack and kill both of them at the same time.
My turn.
Accept your will.
I accept your will.
Level.
Maybe I should have used Giant Drill. There's another one of his death quotes he can throw, which is just hilarious. And with that, Chapter 4 is done. Chapter 3 is done. And we're moving on to Chapter 4, where we get the biggest menu of the game, and the judge menu as we like to call it. And I hope that I don't screw anything up. Swap 5 PB with Red, with Falcon, with Compa, put Rom behind Red, swap them around, swap Cake with Uni, swap 5 PB with Red, equip Nepgear, equip Rom, equip Uni, equip Falcon with Rush, then give Gear a Pearl Bracelet and Anti-Paralyze Pin, give Rom and Pearl Armlet and a Ring of Essence, give Uni a Pearl Bracelet and a Hitting Patch, and last but not least give Falcon her Weapon, Hardest Bangle and an Anti-Paralyze Pin. But before we can do that, we're gonna need to go into a shop over here, where we're gonna buy an Emerald Sword. An Emerald Sword, a Pearl Bracelet, and 2 anti-paralyze pins. So that we can actually equip them. And yes, I agree. That is the best cutscene of the entire game. You can fight me for that. It's the best CG. Alright, we're gonna pick up that last item here, and then we're gonna do that wonderful menu I just dictated. So, party, we're gonna swap 5 PB, X Red, X Falcon, X Compa, run behind Rat, swap them, Kavix Uni, 5 PB, X Red. So that should be the correct party. And then we can do commands, and you are gonna get rush, rush, rush. You, wild shot, remove, remove, wild shot, you get blast rush, and blast rush. You get personal style, remove, remove, personal style. Then we do equipment, and you get your, you already have that, you get a Pearl Bracelet, and an anti-paralyze pin, you get your weapon, a Pearl Bracelet, and an anti-paralyze pin. Rom gets her weapon, a Pearl Armlet, and a Ring of Essence. You get your Emerald Sword, Hardest Bangle, and Hitting Patch. I have a feeling that Hitting Patch was incorrect. Let me correct that. Equipment, Uni has the anti-paralyze pin, which is incorrect. Uni is supposed to have a Hitting Patch. That is correct. Where is it? Am I completely stupid now? Yeah, okay. That is what I wanted to do. You, and you. There we go. That's better. Yeah. Thanks, VGM. And that's why these menus... I know I can do them faster if I've trained, but this is Rust %. If you want to see it done really well, go watch VGM. Alright, you go HDD. And we farm EXE. Gear goes HDD and uses defensive cheer. You can boost Falcon. And Falcon, rush. You rush. You rush. You rush. Falcon uses EXE. And keep rushing. And 2 more EXEs should be able to kill Judge. Okay. 1 person being paralyzed is okay, as long as it's not Falcon. And that is Judge dead. This fight can go really, really poorly. He can literally nuke you on the first turn. And that's not nice. We'd call that getting judged. But with that, we have successfully passed Chapter 4. And now it's just Chapter 5 and the special chapter. Safety save, because the game offers it. Chapter 5, Approaching Shadows. We're gonna get into a scripted fight with Magic, CFW Magic, one of the people we just saw also before. Because Big Bad Guy has henchmen. One of the henchmen we defeated, the Guardian of the Graveyard, which was just Judge. And then we kind of want to go and fight Magic here. And I totally hope that we're gonna be not getting into any issues with this fight. Also, I think I actually like the music that plays in this dungeon. It works really well for the atmosphere. And it's thunder. Hear the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. So I'm not quite sure why, but this split is called Magic Loss, because Magic loses. Totally. There's nothing that could possibly go wrong in this fight. And it's a really, really hard fight. It's really hard. I better defend so that I don't die. Ah, damn! Why did I die? Yeah, no. It's a scripted fight. You can technically win it if you're like in New Game +++++ and are extremely overleveled. But the game ignores it. It still treats it as if you would have lost. And yeah, that was one of the bad patterns. She can definitely nuke your entire party in one go. But she decided to kill everyone one by one. And then we go down into Lean Box, we buy a Smart Rifle, which we immediately equip to Uni. I said immediately equip. And then we go over to the Pain Field to fight against Virtue again, but this time with lots of size. And my sister is apparently going to get vaccinated and get her booster shot. Wonderful.
The enemy looks strong, but I'll try my best. Alpha 6, I'll do this. Processor unit, ready. I'm sorry. I'll be serious now. What should I do?
You boost on
I
Falcon.
won't lose. What should I do?
Then we hope Neptunia doesn't die.
Nah. I won't. Is it my turn? You're within my for the deep. What should I do?
And
I
that
won't.
should be good.
I have no
Wonderful.
regrets about my life.
And compa in Spanish means friend, pal, buddy. Okay, that's interesting. Why she's actually named Compa is because she's representing Compile Heart, the developer of this game. That's also why she has like a little thing in her hair, which like has a C, and then she has like a heart thing, and her clothing also matches the branding of the company. And yeah, as you heard, for the D is like one of the funny quotes that Virtue does because you cut him off.
Let's go.
And he actually says, "For the deity of sin," but he just gets cut off. At, "For the D." Alright, equipment, Falcon, Uni, Hardest Bangle, thank you. And then we go commands, combo skills, and you get your full clip. Because full clip is a better rush, and thus we build up more EXE to defeat enemies more quickly. And more quickly means going more fast. More fast is speedrun.
What's this?
Gotta go fast. We also picked up another rune bangle from that chest there, which we're gonna equip to Rom at some point later.
I'm gonna ugly up. I won't let time get serious.
Alright, you are hard to actually hit.
I need to processor unit set. I need
You
to do this.
boost on
My
Falcon.
turn.
You,
My turn. It's my turn.
you're gonna heal
I'll
yourself.
end this with one. I won't
You
lose.
can
All
XE.
right. Is it my turn? What should I do? You're
And
within my
then we
reach.
want to get just a little bit more EXE
What should I do?
so that we can do the next fight
Leave it to me.
as quickly as possible. Oh hey, it's Underling whose name it's not Linda. Yes, totally not. It's actually interesting in the voice acting of these cutscenes, because most of these cutscenes are actually fully voiced, we're just skipping them. She actually says that she's called
Lend me
Linda,
your strength.
but the
Leave it to
text
me.
doesn't show it.
Processor
It
unit.
still just says Underling there. Alright, full
Show
clip.
me your
Show me your moves. Alright, defensive cheer so you don't die. You're going to boost Uni. And then we just move on. Deal damage.
I
Build up
believe.
EXE.
I'll end this with one shot. My turn.
And now we use the fresh move that
I need to.
Uni got, which is her EXE move.
Show me.
What should I? It's my turn. You're within my reach. Leave it to me.
And maybe that kills, yes.
I should have used a giant drill.
And Falcon just deals so little damage in this fight compared. But even though we used her in the previous fight and she was really good there, we just got the new EXE move for Uni, and that means it's a lot more damage. So yeah, Underling is one of those characters that just constantly gets memed on. And this game is full of fourth wall breaks and everything, so I can highly recommend playing it casual. Alright, let's go into Lean Box. And I'm going to need your biggest blesses for RNG in chat, because we're gonna get to one of the major RNG parts again. We need a drop from an enemy, which is a big enemy, and it's a 50% drop chance. And 50% means you never get it.
Let's do our best.
We go over here. Take these.
What's this?
Technically don't need it, I think. Not just. Alright, equipment. Neptunia gets the laser sword and the goddess bangle, and you get the rune bangle. Wonderful. And then I go for the dragon horn fight.
Don't think you'll get out in one piece. Time to get serious.
Also, I noticed that my party is actually not fully correct.
I won't lose. What should I
You
do?
boost, there.
What should I
You
do?
that.
I can go any. You're within my
Alright.
reach. Leave it to me. I need to.
It's way too much, is the record.
I need to. Now.
And we get it. First try, every try. How wonderful. Then we grab the Colosseum unlock. And we immediately implement the Colosseum. And then we also plans, item, eject buttons, so we can finally buy eject buttons. In last station, we buy up to 22 eject buttons, and then we go guild and report for the first time this. You accept Avenge My Cousin, Seeking Big Business, Seeking Net Bull, and Training Regimen I can also accept. And then we can move on.
Okay.
So, welcome to Counting with Marenthyu. This is the second round that we're doing with these quests, because we've already done one round of these during one of the quests that we did earlier. But we're gonna need to do this to move around the shares, because we want to go on the special path. And to go on the special path, you need to get every single nation onto 50% of shares at least once.
I'm a goddess candidate of Louis. Won't let you go.
You keep forgetting Seeking Netbolts, really? SMHVGM, and I thought you were a good runner. Avenge My Cousin, Seeking Big Business.
Let's do our best.
That was the second time that we handed those quests in, so we're now doing it for the third time. We are going to need to do this 12 times exactly, so that we have manipulated our shares in the way that we need to. Also, I'm going to actually party coupling fix this, because that kind of has been annoying me. And then we can eject out again. I said eject out again.
Let's do our best.
I don't think memory exists for you.
I'm scared. It's my turn. I won't.
Yeah, I think my party is completely scuffed. The party always gets scuffed at some point. I don't know which way it would be correct. Neptunia Rom Uni. Ah, yeah, there's the problem.
Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
Neptunia Rom Uni Falcon. Let's fix that. You party Neptunia Rom Uni. Uni Falcon. There we go.
It's time to depart.
Yeah, I tried fixing it. Swap the wrong members. As long as my backline is okay, we should be fine.
None can survive a strike from my blade. Let you go. I can go any.
Have we become what percent run yet? Not quite. It's rust, but it's not what percent. Come on. Seeking Big Business. Thank you.
Okay, let's go.
By the way, we have now handed it in 5 times.
I'll take care of
So
you
after
even
we hand it in one more time, we're halfway there. And this controller is horrible for mashing. Like, seriously. Don't get a Stadia controller.
Please, everyone,
I like to say that it's the that this category is new game, conquest ending, no DLC, any percent.
Let's go.
Because why not? New game, conquest ending, no DLC, any percent.
None can survive a strike from my blade. Let you go. I can go any.
Is stream
Okay.
bed?
Go.
I see no dropped frames on my side if I see correctly. Yes. But do let us know if something's not good.
I'm a goddess candidate of Louis. So I think I'm stronger now, you.
Or do you mean my mashing sounds? If you have an HDD and it starts to sound like yes, then your hard drive is going bad.
Don't think you'll get out in one piece. It's time to depart.
So yeah, this is generally the main category. It's the one that has the most runs and activity.
I'm a goddess candidate of Louis. Let you go. I need.
And I think the main reason is because it's like the unique ending for this game. Avenge my cousin, seeking big business. We're at 30%, so we're gonna need to do it 5 more times. That means my counter is accurate. And this is the 8th round. Yeah, the HDD mashing noise.
I'm a goddess candidate of Louis.
Pen. By the power of the mashing gods, I present to you Bad Mashing by Marenthyu.
I'm with everyone, so...
I'm sorry for saying without exotic butters. Ah, wonderful. Yeah, in my, when I stream myself, I usually have alerts for the splits.
Let's go.
So when I save time while being behind, it uses the exotic butters voice clip from, I think it's Five Nights at Freddy's sister location.
None can survive a
That's kinda
strike from my blade. This grace. I can go. What should
I mean, I use 2 fingers as well.
I feel stronger now. Okay, let's go.
That is what we all do, isn't it?
None can survive
And I find it
a
actually
strike from my
interesting.
blade.
Everyone has their own mashing strategies in every single game. Because just how the games differ and what everyone is comfortable with. It shows really well in Tetris, in the Tetris community.
Let's do our best.
Mashing is an art indeed, and there's no right or wrong way to do
I'm a
it.
goddess candidate of Louis. So I need to.
And yes, we're at the part where we're avenging a lot of cousins,
Okay.
and so we're just part of the biggest family in game industry. The thumb of God. You get avenged, you get avenged, and you get avenged!
Level up.
Alright. Almost done with this. Just 2 more
Time to
times.
depart.
2 rounds.
The enemy looks
I have no
strong, but
clue.
much. I'll try my best. I can go.
I just know that my mashing is not the best.
Let's do our best.
And yes, friendly reminder that you can donate, if you can spare.
Please, everyone, lend me your strength. I can go. What should I?
One big nap before the run is over.
It's time to depart.
I mean, we can tell you nap when nap dies. I mean, yeah, no, Netnap would never die in this run. That would never happen. It's not like we're going for a big sword bathed in the blood of your friends to beat the big bad evil guy. We would never kill our sister, would we?
Let's do our best. Please, everyone.
But don't worry,
Lend me your strength. I need to.
she still gets to show off her skills. Because Neptune breaks every game she's in. New guild report. I never accepted the last round of quests,
Time to
so we get to do one extra round.
Please, everyone. Lend me your strength. I can go.
Extra content! I don't have eject buttons because I didn't buy them again yet because I wasn't supposed to need them. Wonderful. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to I'm Walking Out of the Dungeon. .mp4. Shop, buy, eject buttons 2, and then we're gonna need 9 more later, so we're gonna buy 10. Thank you.
Let's do our best.
This is fine. It's just like 2 minutes time loss. Could be worse.
I'm with everyone. Leave it to me. So I can go any.
There's Tekken joining our party. Guild report, avenge my cousins, seeking big business, and then fiery main, and training regimen. Thank you. And we need to buy earth scissors. And a hitting patch. Alright, we buy earth scissors and a hitting patch. Then we do some party menuing. Party Romex Cave. Romex Cave and IFX Red. IFX Red, wonderful. And then we remove... those two to be a little bit faster. Equipment. Gear gets a hitting patch. You get a hitting patch. Uni gets a pill bracelet. Cave gets the earth scissors. Bodice bangle and an anti-paralyze pin. Wonderful. And then we go over here. A wonderful, beautiful place where you can fight some friendly enemies because you need to shift things around. We need to do 8 fights of this.
I'll show you what a true barrage is
Leave
like.
it to me.
You
I'll finish
build
you
the
this
rushes,
turn.
malicious have me
I won't
there, you buff her,
Leave it to me.
and you build some more EXE, and you kill all 4 at once. Thank you. That was number 1. This is number 2.
I swear on my Dragon Slayer, I will
This
defeat
is number 2.
My turn.
And the wind skill, please. Thank you. And then pull an attack on her. And Falcon gets to attack.
I'll finish
And
this
you
turn.
get to kill.
We level up.
That was number 2. This is number 3.
I'll show you what a true barrage is like.
Let you go.
Fine.
And then we have this, and you have this. Deep, deep, deep.
Leave it to
And
My
EXE.
turn.
And kill.
We
That was
level
number 3. And we are on number 4.
up. Let's get this going. I will let you go.
My turn.
You malicious heaven. You cool an attack.
Leave it to me.
You just personal style, and I think it's I forget what hers is called.
How
Full burst option or something? I don't know.
I'll finish you this
I just
turn.
know that it's a
Leave it to me.
Tohu reference
I
because
won't
she
lose.
represents a
I'll
company
finish you this turn.
responsible for bullet hole games. That was number 5. This is number 6.
I'll finish you
And
this turn.
there we go.
I won't
And
lose.
you pull an attack.
Leave it to me.
Okay.
Finally. my
And
turn.
you cannot hit all of them, so you're just gonna hit that one.
We'll let you go.
And you that one, you that one, and you kill. That was number 6. 2 more.
I'll take care of you even without this.
I'll finish you
You
this turn.
malicious
Leave it to
7,
me.
you pull an attack, and that.
My turn.
That.
I'll finish you this turn.
And kill. And one more.
I'll show you what a true barrage is
Leave
like.
it to me.
Finally, my
And you
turn.
malicious 7,
My
that, and
I won't lose.
wonderful, and wonderful.
We level up.
There we go. No, it's not done. One event in low E, so we pick up along. And then we party menu to re-add Neptunia and Red XIF and make Neptunia leader again. Then we go into the Leanbox Guild, where we already accepted the Fiery Main quest, which we're now going to do 11 times. Because now we did Leanbox shares and got Vert added to our party.
I'll take care of you even without this.
We got Louis added to our
Finally,
party.
my turn.
That-
I won't lose.
I'll finish you this. We have
Yes.
and now we're working on getting Noir added to our party. Quest, Fiery Main, Training Regimen.
Time to depart.
The true optimization were the friends we killed along the way. That is one time done. We don't kill IF and Compa,
I
true.
swear on my Dragon Slayer, I will defeat.
I'll finish you.
I can
We
go.
move to the side of this guy a little bit,
It's
so
my
that we
turn.
start next to him and deal a little bit more damage than we would from the front. And set Fiery Main, and then one more Training
Do our
Regimen,
best.
which manipulates our shares just right, so that we need to do a less than we actually go for planet tuned shares. Da-da-dum, ba-da-dum.
Don't think you'll get out in one piece.
Finally,
I need
And up,
my turn.
up,
it's my
and kill.
I'm more beautiful now.
If we get bad luck, Kate can actually get a strength down there. And that ruins it, so that you need
Let's
to
do our best.
spend an extra turn to kill him fully. Because damage ranges are fun. And I think I forgot to keep counting. How many times was this? I think this was 3 times now. And this should be the 4th.
The enemy looks strong, but leave it to me. I'll try my best.
I'll finish you.
My turn.
I'll finish you.
Level up.
Ba-da.
Okay.
Last station is at
let's go.
22%. We need 50, so we need 28 more percent. 28 divided by 4 is 7, so we need to do this 7 more times. So yes, indeed, that was number 4. We are now on number 5. Hashtag quick maths.
I'll take care of you even without
Quick
this.
maths.
Finally,
I can go. I won't.
it's my turn.
There's some pretty cursed menu struts during share grind. I do not want to know them, I feel like. But yes, please do post them. No, Fiery Main, please. Thank you.
Let's do our best.
Quick math. Math. Ba-ba-dum, ba-da-dum.
Please, everyone, lend me your strength.
I'll finish you.
My turn.
I'll finish you this.
I became stronger.
Alright, Fiery Main. And Fiery Main.
Let's do our best.
And just a casual 5 more times. So yeah, as you can see,
Finally.
VGM is actively running and still routing this game.
I'll
So,
finish you this.
if anyone wants to dip their toes into this game as well, you're more than welcome to join us and shape the future of the speed game.
Okay, let's go.
New people are always welcome.
We can't lose this battle.
I won't let you go.
Finally.
Leave it to me.
Finally.
Also, you may have noticed that we're not actually losing any eject buttons, because this quest always gives us one back whenever we complete it. So if we use one, we get one back. We lose one, we get one back. It does come in quite handy. Because the fewer items you need to buy, the faster you can go.
Please, everyone, lend me your
Disgrace.
strength.
It's mine.
I won't.
I'll finish you.
The sound of leveling up is music to my ears.
Alright, 2 more times.
Let's go.
And then we're just on to finishing Planet 2, which will only take a couple rounds. Or, technically it does still take 6 rounds. Of another set of 2 enemies. But after that, we're on the final boss rush
Leave it to me.
to actually finish off the game.
I won't.
Finally.
I think I'm stronger now, you.
And this is the final one.
Okay, let's go.
And if my PB splits are to be believed, I think we're currently on a pace to be at a 153. So not too bad.
I'll show you what a true barrage is
Leave
like.
it to me.
I'll finish
This game goes on sale very often.
you. I'll finish you this.
I recommend like waiting for it to be like $10, yeah. Alright, now we go to last station. And accept another set of Avenge My Cousin's quests. And a couple God Eaters. Guild, accept Avenge My Cousin God Eaters.
Okay, let's go.
And if I did everything right, we need to avenge 3 more cousins and get 6 God Eaters.
I swear on my Dragon Slayer, I will.
It's my turn.
Ugh. My arm is getting tired of mashing. It is
Let's do our
hard.
best.
And now we can finally fight this wonderful dolphin that we ran past a couple times earlier. If you run into this enemy early on, you're basically doomed
Please,
because it's way
everyone,
too powerful
lend
early
me
on.
your strength.
But now,
I-
we just kill it.
I'm gonna get stronger.
Wonderful, last station, and then that was the first time, and now we're on the
Okay,
second time.
Let's go.
Let's get this going.
My turn.
It's my
Let's do our best.
Don't do it, reject weak. Enjoy Umio. And then he would need to get Mega Dimension Neptunia V2. So... And yes, all the anime waifus. In case you haven't noticed, our party consists entirely out of
I need to
female characters. That's kind of the gist of this game and series. I don't think there's a single male playable character.
It's time to depart.
And I feel bad for it. But it does kind of give the game an
Let's get
excuse
this
to be
going.
I won't let you go.
the way it is.
Finally.
Let's do our best.
Can you actually play Umio as Umio in one of the games? was not aware that he was a playable character in one of the games.
I'll finish.
VOC and V2. I see. Alright, we need 3 more gold eaters, and then we should be good to go. To go and fight the final few bosses. The final 6 bosses, if I have it correctly in my brain. Might be 7.
I'll take care of you
Or
even
more.
without sis. I'll finish. I can go anytime. Let's do our best.
None can survive a strike from my blade.
I'll finish.
That is also one thing that these games do. They force your party to be a certain set of characters for certain fights.
Time to depart.
And it's just weird. With a little bit of memory manipulation, you can actually change your entire party. But the game does not like it if you're not the party that it expects.
Lend me
It
your
actually
strength.
crashes.
Finally.
Ask me how I know. Alright. Hand in what eaters one more time, and then we head to Land Castle. Pick up some more items, and then we're going to change our party after the next fight. Or the fight after that. So that we can make use of Neptune joining our party. Which she actually... I think she already did. I'm not sure. I think she did a while back. We're picking up just a little bit more of equipment so that we are ready for the final few bosses. We're going to pick up the Black Cat Ears. I'm going to safety save. And we do not need the Black Cat Ears, but if people want the Black Cat Ears, we could equip them. It's an equipment item for Uni, which are literally Black Cat Ears. I only picked them up, I didn't equip them. So the run is technically not yet valid. That's a joke that we do. If you don't equip the cat ears, the run isn't valid.
Die for
My turn.
Alright.
Time to get serious. I'll finish you. I can go anytime. Leave it to me.
You pull an attack on
Finally,
Cave.
my turn. I need to calm the...
Why do my notes say that I should attack with Uni? It's gonna be fine.
Finally, my turn.
if I
Yeah, okay, no, I should be using
Leave it to
Uni.
me. You're within my
Imagine
grip.
trusting your
I can go
notes.
anytime. Finally, my turn.
There we go, it worked out.
be the cuties?
Alright. Can someone do a poll in chat if we equip the cat ears or not? There's not many chances anymore, only for the last fight, so never mind. Notes are more like guidelines to me.
I wonder if I can win. Defy me. I will. Time to get serious. Finally, my turn. I'll finish. I need to calm my turn. I'll end this with one shot. Finally, I won't. I'll finish you.
For the...
I'll end this with. I need to calm.
No. This can't...
Yay, damage ranges.
I'm more...
Damn. Alright. And if everything went correctly, then we are now on the final chapter. After we get another save prompt. Apocalypse, a savior's sorrow. Notice the mid space between A and saviors. You'll never unsee it. There's a couple things in this game that once you've seen them once, you're never gonna unsee them. For example, every time a model loads in these cutscenes, they blink. If you look for it, you're gonna notice it. Every time they load in, they blink. It's blink, blink, blink.
Let's do our best.
I'm gonna pick up some more equipment over here.
What's this?
And over here. Ignore this save point because there's not actually a fight over here. I hate it. You can see all the blinking now. Mission accomplished. Alright, we suddenly find an old sword that's totally not magical at all, and we don't need to bathe it in the blood of our friends. But because we are now on kind of crossroads, not the crossroads of defeat. That's the first chapter. But because we're talking with our friends and they don't want to, you know, sacrifice themselves, they kind of leave. They don't like us anymore. So, stuff is happening. Everyone leaves. And now we're all alone. Alright, we shop. Where's my shop menu? I don't see it in my notes. There it is. We just buy a BK second dam, of course. Then we do menu, party, we swap red. Red with broccoli with Compa, Tekken behind Compa, and we swap them around. And then we put Neptune at 5 PB at Falcon. Like this. This is not correct. This should be more correct. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that this is correct. Alright, then we do equipment. Neptune gets her weapon and an arc armlet. And Tekken gets a weapon, the heart tango, and the Momo's charm. And Cave gets a hitting patch. Then we go for commands. Nets, Blue Rush, or Blue Sonic. You don't get it. You get overtake, remove, remove. Overtake, overtake, net slash, remove, remove, net slash, and net slash. Wonderful. And we do watch this one event cutscene. And then we safety save, because ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final 4 fights. 5 fights. And they are hard. They are really hard, because now we're fighting against the people that we were partying up the entire time. And these fights are random. Effectively. You can still cheese them with a little bit of strategy, but they can go wrong quickly. Alright, you, Jikin on Cave, because she has an AoE EXE ability. You can go EXE, you can go on the other side as the other people, because you can soak up a lot of damage.
Time to get serious.
And then we do this.
Okay, it's
Thank you. You can hit them both from the side. You can Jikin on Neptune, thank you.
Okay, it's my
You can hit Noir so that she almost dies, and Kate is dead, that is bad. We're going to need to revive her, and then we're going to need to give her EXE back, and then she's dead again, so we're just going to kill Uni so that we don't run into any more problems. I said we're going to kill Uni so that we don't run into any more problems. You're going to Exuberant Fragment on Cave, you're going to healing pot on yourself so that you can survive. You can build more EXE. You can build more EXE. You can build more EXE. And you should be able to deal a lot of damage. That is good. You can build more EXE. You can build more EXE. You can do something, and you should be able to finally kill her. This fight can go way, way, way worse. That was bad, but it can go way worse. That only lost 25 seconds over my TP. So I'm not even mad. And yes, the true meme is if I die to Verge, it is going to be the second to next fight. Now we go over to Louis. Equip some more stuff. Equipment. Cave gets a candidate Aegis, and Neptune gets a CPU Aegis that we just got. Then we safety save, because my notes even say, warning, hardest fight, random, save, in all caps. And that is just true. We're gonna see why. But the strategy is basically the same. You want to get We're going to get cave up there and deal
I'm
the AoE damage that she can do. You chicken on cave.
finally my turn.
This kind of is really bad.
I can go anytime.
Ba-ba-ba.
Officer unit, set.
You can go over here and defensive cheer on her whilst staying
It's
a
mine.
little bit put.
You need to be as good as my sister.
That is good. We have two of them close to each other.
Who wants to take
So
me
we
on?
should be able to kill them in one go. There we go.
So,
Two of them are dead. That's
should
perfect.
I take off?
And then
Colin,
Neptune should be able to
you
kill
need
them.
be as good as my sister.
Come on.
Who
Whatever.
wants to take
You
me on?
kill. Kill. Wonderful. That was a really good fight. Not a glot split, but that was 49 seconds saved over PB. So, we're now overestimate. I'm sorry, but we should be done in about 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes. So don't worry about it. You still haven't wrapped your head around Netgear and Neptune? Yes, this is a filler run. And we're almost done. Alright, equipment. Netgear gets a CPU candidate Vegas, and Tekken gets a candidate Vegas. And no need to safety save because these upcoming fights are... well, they are a joke. My notes literally say lol 3.
I wonder if I can win. No,
All
a
right.
little here's my power.
Same thing here, effectively, just that we use Neptune
Are you?
because she's actually defends well against wind spells, and Cave's EXE is a wind spell,
My turn.
right, so it doesn't deal as much damage.
I am. It's. Who wants to? I need. Should I finally? I will not.
I need to stop doing that.
Finally. It's my turn.
There we go.
I can't believe I lost.
She dead. So he just needs to not mess up for 7 hours straight. Yeah, you should see what VGM sometimes has happen in his runs. Imagine not being 3 hours before estimate in
lose this battle.
our RRLAT run.
Leave this to me. No attacking while I'm transforming.
No, it definitely has English VA.
Finally.
I forgot to
my
buff
turn.
someone with Tekken.
Need to come. You better be finally. I can go. I'm gonna.
You... And now they skill seal Tekken. This is interesting. Let's use a strength booster on Neptune.
I'll finish
That works.
this. Not yet. I can't.
Loser. Alright. Get ready on time. It's about a minute away. We just have one more final fight. And because we're in a marathon, we're going to actually equip the sword that we've been fighting for and that we're going to kill Neptune for right now. Because, we're kind of alone. And she did. Gaha burn received. And some other equipment, but we don't really care about it because the Gaha burn is truly OP. And then we hope that we don't get memed by the final boss, because I didn't safety save before it. But we should be fine. I'm just not gonna go full YOLO strats that you could do here to save a couple tens of seconds.
I swear on my Dragon Slayer, I will defeat you. Should I take on?
You chicken on... Yeah, chicken on cave. Is it Nick Cave? Yes, it's cave.
Finally.
Alright, you do that, you go HTD, and you're going to go defensive chair.
I won't
Thank
lose.
you go over here, you go somewhere over here, and now we're completely fine. Get ready on time, we should need 2 EXEs,
Is it my turn?
and we just need to execute this wonderful final
Finally.
attack.
I can go anytime.
I said this final attack time. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 2 Sister Generation Conquest ending. And there's some more stuff at the end here with the story, and there's morale to be had. and infos to be seen. But just know that what we did was wrong. Because now we truly are all alone. Bam, 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 bam. And I do like this stuff. So, thank you everybody for being here. Thanks a lot for VGM in chat, and Woldy in chat, and Raspect in chat, and everyone else from the Hyperdimension Neptunia speedrunning community. Feel free to join us on speedrun.com and on the Discord. That's linked there. But we are now truly alone in this world, and the next run can
I need
commence.
to bring peace to the people of this world, and I need to do it alone. That's the path I've chosen to